to Becoming Next on Scene, everybody. I am so excited to be here with the amazing Mahsa, the founder and owner of Canvas and Cup. Hi, Mahsa. How are you today?
Hi, Jackie. How are you? Great to be
Good.
here.
I'm so excited to have you. You're so inspiring, and I can't wait for you to share more with my audience today about what you do and how you got started. So, what is Canvas and Cup for people who don't know what you do?
So Canvas and Cup is a paint and sip studio. However, that's not all we are. We are also an arts and crafts center. We offer many in-person classes for children and adults. So the paint and sip, when you introduce it, a lot of people think that, it's like a place for moms to get together, drink some wine and have fun. We do that. However, we do a lot more. During summer, we have summer camps, we have after school programs, we have toddler programs. So everything all around. And in addition to everything else, we also do a lot of events for corporations and companies locally. If they want to do something in person, they can certainly come to our studio. We have a beautiful space in Westborough, Massachusetts. They can do that. We hold their events for them. And if they're not local, we can certainly accommodate them virtually. So we send everything out to them and we just hop on Zoom and we show them how to paint.
I love it. So, how did this even come about? What's your background for people who don't know more about you?
Yeah, so I'm not an artist. This is the first thing I always say. People are like, "Oh, you're an artist, you're a painter. I can't do this." But this is the entire motto behind my business. I'm not an artist. I had never touched a brush in my life before I attended one of these classes. And it was so amazing that, from start to finish, they just tell you basically what to do and you walk away with a beautiful masterpiece. So I was in the corporate world for many years. And the last 12 years, I was in the nonprofit industry. It was definitely, taking a toll on me with having a family. I wanted to spend more time with my husband, with my daughter. So, I really wanted to do something to have my own platform, but at the same time, I wanted to be able to share it with my family and spend more time at home, have the flexibility. So, I just bought a few canvases and we started just playing around with my daughter. At the time, she was 7, and we just started from the kitchen counter. I told her, put a dot here, put a dot over there. We connected everything. And all of a sudden, the 7-year-old walk away with a beautiful painting. And that's not a joke. Her paintings are in the studio. They're so gorgeous. And so I was like, this is good. I kind of like this. Why not just kind of take this up a notch and offer it as a service to the community? And that's really how it started. I just pulled the plug. I basically gave my notice at work. A couple of months later, boom, I had a space and, we just started.
It was totally
It
meant to
wasn't,
be. It was meant to
yeah,
be.
I mean, it wasn't easy, but I really wanted to do it. And, I said, why not? And we started it.
I
And
love
here
it.
we are.
Now, tell me about the name.
So a lot of these places, it's they clearly you paint on a canvas and then people drink wine with it. So paint and sip, the bar, this and that. But in my mind, I wanted to offer the service, a service that doesn't necessarily offer wine, because a lot of people don't drink alcohol. They drink coffee. Like I said, we accommodate a lot of teenagers, people who are not of drinking age, children. So I added the cup to the canvas because you could put anything in the cup. You can put you can have a cup of coffee, you can have milk, you could pour hot chocolate in your cup. You could even add booze in your cup. So, that's why I said canvas and cup. And that's how the name basically came about.
So awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think that it's clear and very friendly to all different types of people, which I think is awesome. So
Yes.
so
We
being that
definitely didn't want to have a group of people to feel like they don't belong,
right.
because some people go to places and everybody else is drinking and they don't drink, and I definitely wanted to offer a space where they feel at home as well. So we
Right.
have coffee machines, we have tea, people can grab their stuff, we have hot chocolate, and they can bring their own booze if they choose to.
Right. That's awesome. I'm sure the people that drink will appreciate that.
There you go.
So tell me more about like how you differentiate yourself in a market when there are a lot of paint and sim companies out there.
Right. So I think what makes us different is that, well, first of all, a lot of it has to do with myself and people who are working in the business. We're all moms. We
Mhm.
all know how hard it is to kind of balance work, kids, family, and so on and so forth. So one thing is that we're very, very, as far as schedule goes, we're very accommodating both to employees and to people who want to come and take classes with us. So that's one thing. The other thing is basically we're not just local. After COVID, because we had to shut down our doors, we started offering virtual classes, and during COVID, believe it or not, I was just offering those classes for free on social media because I knew that people could not have access to buy art materials. They did not have, a lot of people lost their jobs, so they couldn't afford to pay for something.
Right.
And so I just kind of wanted to offer a platform where, again, people can enjoy doing something. And that just kind of built a huge audience, and people were very receptive to that. And then the virtual party just kind of took a life of its own. So that's one thing. And then while we were in the pandemic, I was trying to find supplies to ship to my clients so they can attend the classes, but there was the shortage of supplies. I could
Right.
not find anything. Or even if I could find something, there was like 3-4 months back order. So, and the prices were ridiculous. So this just kind of gave me an idea of, well, I can't find a lot of supplies, so why not try to put together paint kits, basically in a box, and kind of that could be another um, service that I could offer to even other paint and sip businesses around the country. So that's what we did. We put together our own kits, but the kits don't have any labels. You can certainly buy it from us, and then you can slap your own label on it and do whatever you want to do with it. And those are like the fraction of the price of what you can find on any other platform, such as Amazon or any other place. It's definitely cheaper.
So you really created like two businesses out of that.
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes. So it just started because I couldn't find anything that I was looking for, and everything else was just so crazy and so expensive. And I was like, there's no way, I can keep this up. I can't keep going, basically tackling people in the art store for like a jug of white paint. And this is really what we were doing. With my friend, I would say, go down aisle 5, there's a jug of paint, grab it, grab it. I mean, it was just ridiculous at that point, at the beginning of the pandemic. And this is, yeah, so that's the other thing that we're trying to build, we're trying to kind of promote, and that is something that we can ship all around the world if necessary.
I mean, to be honest, you could almost work with other paint and sip companies, could you not?
Exactly.
I love that. That's like a collaborative option.
Exactly, because a lot, I have no doubt, like we looked everywhere, and it's just so hard to
Mm.
find everything one by one, put them together, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then, oh my God, is it going to explode? Is it going to leak?
Right. The good point. Good
And we've
point.
had so many of these issues. Like I said, at the beginning of the pandemic, we couldn't find boxes, something as simple as that. So we would go to Restaurant Depot and we would get pizza boxes. Yes, and we would put the supplies in the pizza boxes, and my clients would laugh and make fun, like in a good way, saying, "Oh, we didn't know you ship pizza," because they opened the box. It was a pizza box because
I
I couldn't
love it.
find any other box because everything was back ordered.
Huh. I
Yeah,
love it. It's
so
the hustler mentality though. You figured it out. Like
it
so
really,
inspiring.
I like to keep busy. At pandemic, everything was closed, and I
Right.
was going crazy. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit home and do nothing. Let's just figure something out.
For
And
sure.
I would put my daughter in the back seat, and she would just pour paint with her little hands in little jars. Yes, and she would eat her ice cream on the side. It was
So
hysterical.
sweet.
Yeah. So we did it, and luckily, we could provide a fun environment for people. Everybody was stuck at home, and but they would paint, which was fantastic. And people would just keep emailing me and messaging me saying, when is the next class? When is the next class? And it was all free.
Right.
So people really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Like
Yeah.
so inspiring. And it's a family business now too, which is so
It's
cute.
a family business, right? But now my daughter's older and she
Too cool
absolutely
for it. She's
refuses
too
to come
cool
to
for it.
the studio.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
like, you want to go to work with me? She's like, how much are you going to pay me? So
Right. So cute. I love it. So tell me, like now with the holidays around the corner, like what are people coming to you for? Do people do corporate events? Like what does that look like?
yeah, so holidays we don't have any after school classes or anything during the holidays because our place is almost booked for corporate events. We still do a lot of virtual parties. People still have teams all around the country, so they book those. But we are booking people in the studio as well, and they can bring their food, they can have food catered or bring their drinks, and it's we have music. I mean, it's just really really fun. And the event is the studio is going to be private. It's not open to public, so a lot of people appreciate that because then we can just lock the doors and they can do whatever they want to do
Oh,
in that 2-3 hours. And definitely we're doing a lot of that. We're also going to have a lot of pre-assembled kits for people who don't want to come to the studio and they just want to grab something and use it as a holiday gift. We have a lot of those. They are catered for adults and children, and that's a great way to kind of give a gift, and they're very reasonably priced. They're not expensive. We ship those as well, or people can come to the studio and pick them up.
amazing. I mean, Masa, I think about how much you've done because it's only been the post-pandemic for 2 years. Like you are killing it.
I mean,
I mean, it's so, but you just acknowledge it because you're doing awesome. Okay. Like I
thank
just want
you.
to
Thank you.
like
I appreciate it. And
it's
I've had
awesome
a lot of help,
for
my
sure.
people here in the studio who help me. They're unbelievable every day. I don't know how to survive without them, honestly. They're just my backbone. And, my head is in 10 different places, and it's just my text just comes on. Don't forget this, don't forget that, don't forget that. My studio director, she is like on top of everything. My instructors, they're amazing. I'm so lucky.
I
I'm
love
so
it.
lucky.
So like what advice do you have for people that would like be interested in like starting their own business? Because it's intimidating at first, like to take the leap financially, not knowing an industry you're super familiar with. Like you're a prime example. So like
Yes.
what advice would you share?
It's not easy,
Right.
but you can do it.
I love it.
It's not easy
Yeah.
at all. A lot of people see somebody else and they're like, oh, it's fine. It's not easy. You have to work your uh, really butt off, if I can say that. You really have to work. You
Sure.
really have to be persistent.
Mhm.
And yeah, and the more you put into the business, the more you're going to harvest at the end. But you have to be persistent and you can't give up. It has ups and downs. It's never always going up. There are times where I'm just sitting and I'm holding my head and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Why is it so slow? And this and that. But, you just have to keep at it. I think that is the mentality. I think we had to close our doors during pandemic. All of that. I was 8 months into the business, all that investment, and I had to close the doors. But I was like, you know what? If people can't come to my studio, I'm going to put everything in a box and deliver them.
Mhm.
That's what we did. I had pickup sessions. I delivered stuff to people's houses, and it just kind of kept building. I think the persistence was a big part of the success.
For sure. But to your point, like you were dropping off at individual houses
I
too. Like,
was. I
that's
really was.
amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I did what I could as
Mhm.
much as possible.
For sure.
So yeah, and of course, you have to build a strong circle of support around you. That's another thing.
Mhm.
Without the support, it's really, really hard to kind of branch out and brainstorm. It's almost impossible. So I'm lucky in that sense as well. I had the support at home and from my team as well.
Huge. And it's hard to find a good team. So you're very
Yes,
lucky to have like a
very
solid.
much, very much.
Yeah.
Again, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky.
So did you go through like a lot of interviews before you found your people? Or did you like find your people pretty quickly?
No, oh gosh, no, I could not. No. I mean, we went through a lot of interviews. I mean, I would ask them, so do you have any experience doing this? No, no, no. I mean, I get that, people just they wanted to inquire to learn about the business, but I think it was a part of um both looking around and also getting lucky, so
Mhm.
both. And I think because of the pandemic, the virtual world kind of expanded the reach, so a lot of my instructors, people who teach on Zoom, they reached out to me
Mhm.
because they're like, hey, you're offering this, we're artists, we're teachers, what's going on? So,
Right.
they just came on board. And these are people in different states,
Mhm.
which is fantastic because we can accommodate different time zones
Right.
because of that.
So cool. Freaking
Yes.
awesome. So really 3 businesses because you went the virtual route too. So you're figuring
Virtual is
out like
different. Yes,
for sure
absolutely.
it definitely is different though, right? Like
Definitely, definitely is different. The in-person stuff is something different. Virtual is completely the shipping, the warehouse, the supplies. That's a whole different thing. And now the kits, the paint at home kits, and the wholesale. So
amazing.
it's 3 different. Yes.
Killing
So
it.
it's busy.
I love it. I'm just like to see the growth is so inspiring and like I'm excited to hear like what my listeners have to like say for feedback. I think it's awesome. So I just want to
Thank
congratulate.
you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
I want to ask you like fun facts and questions, but before
Sure.
we do that, please share how people can get in touch with you, reach out if they have questions, want to book something with you.
Sure thing. So are you asking me or?
Yeah, share your like social media, your
Oh,
website.
oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were
You're
going to
fine.
ask. Yes, so
You're
we
fine.
are everywhere on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, Pinterest, all of it. So we're there. We're very active. I try to do as much as possible. Every once in a while, I try to do it at least once a month. I do free tutorials on Facebook and Instagram. I post a picture and I'm like, this is like a beautiful fall painting, and here's a free tutorial, and it stays on the platform so people can go and refer to it. We have some stuff on YouTube as well. But I mean, you can find a lot on YouTube. So, I just kind of try to limit it to the close community of people who have been my followers. So I do on Instagram and Facebook mostly.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
good. And then do your website.
So the website is canvasandcup.com. And
Perfect.
that's canvas with N as in Nancy and then cup.com. And if you want to order pre-recorded sessions and also pre-sketched canvases, those are the kits that are really, really great to purchase for holidays. That one is canvasandcupkits.com.
Love
So
it.
2 different websites. Yes.
Oh my God. I think you can really help like the standard consumer, but also people that have their own spaces that need
Oh,
support. I
absolutely.
love it. I think
Absolutely.
it's like awesome. So I just have to give you credit for that. Okay. So let's
Thank
talk about
you.
fun facts about Masa. So
Let's do it.
I love that you have an 11-year-old. I know we talked about this post show, but I think that's adorable. And we keep talking about how your kids are getting older and it's depressing, but it's totally fine. It's like happy, but like emotional, right? That's a better way
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
for sure.
She still likes me. That
And
is a good
that's the
thing.
most important part, I
I've
think. Right?
heard that, in a couple of years, she doesn't want to be seen with me, and that is breaking my heart. But hey, I still have 2 more years, I think.
Every day counts right now, for sure.
Yes.
So cute. Okay. So you love scary and horror movies. Tell me more about this.
Yes, I don't know why. I love scary movies. Halloween is the most favorite time of the year for me. Everybody knows that about me. All of my friends think I'm so weird. But I just love scary movies. I don't know what to
Love
tell
it.
you.
So what
Every
were you for
single one.
Halloween?
Huh?
What'd you dress up as this year?
Oh, I was a boring witch, but
Boring. I'm sure you looked really awesome.
but I'm the witch.
I love
But
it.
it's my costume every year because I just have the hat, and then I just change up the makeup and that's it. But I just love it. I just love scary movies, and I just get such a big kick out of it that my husband absolutely hates it. And
So fun.
people are like, "Don't do that to your daughter," but she watches scary movies with me too.
Right. Oh my God, adorable. I love it. I can't handle that, so I give you a lot of credit for that, first of all. So awesome. Okay. So you love to eat. One of your favorite things, like what's your go-to meal? What's Masa's like favorite meal of all time?
Pasta, pasta.
Okay, with what?
Morning, I love any kind of pasta. I love it. I love it. And it's awful because, clearly as when you get older, I mean, seriously, I mean, you can't eat pasta. It just weighs you down. Energy level. I'm not even talking about the weight part. But I just love pasta. I love that comfort Italian food,
I know,
with
I'm
like,
an Italian food eater. I love Italian food
oh
too.
my God, butter and garlic. I love it. I love it. I love to go out. I love to try different foods. That's my biggest thing. I
Do you
love
like
it.
to cook or you prefer to go out?
No, both. I'm a great cook.
Love it.
I started cooking when I was 13.
Oh my God.
Yes. So, I mean, it wasn't very good, but I started. I remember I made pasta sauce for my parents and it looked like soup, but they ate it. But yeah,
Gotta start somewhere, right?
yeah,
I
there
love
you
it.
go. So I love to cook, but I love going out and trying different foods as well.
Love it. So
Definitely.
what's your favorite meal to cook?
I love to make dinner. I really like so I was born and raised in the Middle East. I'm Persian. So one of the it's but to make Persian food, it's very time consuming. So if I really really want to kind of do something super special, I make Persian food. So usually it's like, stews with rice, and there are different kinds of stews. And every once in a while, when I want to spoil myself and my family, I just make one of those, and it's lovely.
I'm sure it's very comforting, like now with like the colder weather, like that happened
Yes.
overnight, by the way, happened
And
overnight, did it not? Like,
absolutely. And it's great because those you make them and then you can just kind of store them in the freezer or the fridge. So, it's like you can keep having it without having to cook every day.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
Love it. That's a good hack. Share that recipe with me.
I will, definitely.
I'm asking for it. That's great. Okay, and then last fun fact is you keep your circle very small, which I can relate to personally, which I love because I think it's hard to be everything to everyone, right? Like it
Yes,
really is.
absolutely. So, it's like a ring of fire,
Mhm.
and I give it all. I give it all to people who are in that circle, all the trust, all the love, everything. I give my right arm. But if the trust is broken, you're out of the ring and you're never coming back. So I've learned that a very, very hard way. My circle was very, very big. I used to have a lot of friends, a lot of socialization and everything. But I found that only if you have only a few true people in your circle, you are much better off. You are a lot more successful. They always root for you, they lift you up, and you do the same for them.
Yeah.
So that is definitely my motto, that those are the people that I rely on, and I don't have to see them every day. Some of them I haven't seen in, like, I saw one of them after 3 years because of COVID.
Mhm.
And that's my circle. Not a big one, but definitely a strong one.
No, I can relate to that. And also to your business is very face fronting, right? So you're
Yes.
socializing a lot.
Yeah.
So it's
All the
better to
time.
like, right. So like, but to let every single person in is like overwhelming and like,
No, it's
yeah,
impossible. It's
yeah,
impossible. And like you said, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And people know that I'm very upfront. I'm very, stern, and I'm very straightforward. And that could be very weird and intimidating to a lot of people. But the people who know me, they know why I am the way I am, and they know where my heart is. And that's all I care about, honestly.
love it. Love it. So inspiring. Okay, before
Thank
we close
you.
out, can you share like one of your favorite quotes of all time? Like what's like a something that like every time you hear it or like speaks to you to kind of close out for motivation?
What's the worst thing that can happen?
I love it. So true.
I mean, I just go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen?
It's so
You,
true.
you gotta have faith. You gotta keep plowing. You gotta move forward. And the worst thing that can happen is what? You fall down, but you'll get up.
Mhm.
You will get up. And I've learned that from my personal experience. A tornado can come, it can shatter everything, but you put the pieces together, And you know what? It wasn't that bad. So
Mhm.
what's the worst thing that can happen?
That's
Nothing. You get
true.
stronger.
So good. You're
Yeah.
amazing, Masa. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for coming
much.
in
So are
today.
you.
Thank you. This has been so fun. Everybody needs to check out Canvas and Cup on all social media platforms. Reach out to Masa to book a party for your kids or for you, whatever you want as an adult. No judgment ever, right? It's for all ages, all
Absolutely.
I love it.
Everybody's welcome.
So awesome. Well, thank
Awesome.
you again. Thank you everyone so much for
Thank you.
tuning in to becoming Next on Scene, and stay tuned for who's next on Scene.